Well, hello, and welcome to Marriage and Family Systems from Moody Bible Distance Learning. This is your fearless leader, Professor Jefferson Williams, and I am coming to you from the remote location of my office in Pontiac, Illinois. So, I wanted to welcome you to week 2. That's how quick it goes. Week 1 was just 5 minutes ago, and now we're on week 2. I wanted to start the video by thanking you for your prayers. My wife was in the hospital for 10 days. It was long. It was a long time. And she doesn't even remember some of it. I do. It was, like she slept a lot, and so I'm the one that drove back and forth and I think we're both just hit a wall and we were very tired. But I got to bring her home yesterday. She's asleep now, but she's healing up and she'll be okay. And so I just thank you for your prayers and checking on me and her. That really, 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 really appreciate it. Okay, week 1, the discussion boards looked great. I've already read all of them and I'll start grading. I will not give you any feedback on the first discussion board because I gave it to you on the discussion board. So I'll just grade it. There won't be any feedback. I will give you feedback on the second one with the Chediak material. So this week you're going to have a discussion board and you're going to be reading the McElhaney and Bush material from a book called Hooked. And we're going to be talking about pornography. So you'll also be reading, make sure you're still reading the Hollinger book, right? The Meaning of Sex, because you'll have a paper week 3 due. So keep reading that. You don't want to come down to the last day and say, oh my gosh, I've got to read this whole book tomorrow. But the McElhaney and Bush. For the last 11 years, I have worked in the area of sexual addiction. I am currently doing a special certification called an SATP, which is a sex addiction treatment provider. And by October, I will be actually I'm already a licensed clinical professional counselor, but I will have that additional certification where I can focus my private practice on guys that are struggling with this in this area. So I want to tell you that this is kind of my area. This is kind of my area of expertise, but more than that, this is my passion. It is. So for 25 years, I struggled in this area. And one of the ways I got free was walking the 12 steps, and the 12th step is to turn around and to help others. So about a decade ago, that's what I did. I started turning around and helping others. So I wanted to tell you that as you read this stuff, I want you to think in terms of ministry. I'm going to be giving you a lot of different scenarios. Almost every scenario I give you, it really happened, okay? And the one that I'll start with in the video is a couple. Imagine a couple sitting at a table. She's on the laptop, right? She's typing on the laptop. She says nothing. She types something, and she turns the laptop around and slides it across the table to the guy that's sitting there doing something. He looks at it. It's on a website called triplexchurch.com. Best porn website, best Christian porn site on the web. It is an incredible organization that helps guys break free of internet pornography. I would highly recommend it. So he looks at it. He knows exactly why she did that. He doesn't say a word. He types, turns the computer around, slides it back over, and it's on the Weight Watchers site. Yeah. How'd you think that went over? So I have a passion to help marriages. There is freedom, and I would like to tell you, I've been now teaching this class for over 2 years, and every single class I say this. When you're doing your discussion boards, make sure not to share too much. If you have been in this area, if you've had struggles with this area, you can share that, but make sure to not trigger people. And I don't mean trigger as in, triggered and that sort of thing. I mean like literally sexually trigger people by doing some maybe details of things. So don't do that. But I would ask you, email me, text me, call me. Every class I've had for the last 2 years that have done this class, Marriage and Family Systems, I've had at least one person call me and say, I am struggling with this. And what I would say to you as an expert in the field is that if you are not married, please deal with it before you get married. Okay? If you are married, please deal with it for your wife and or your children. And if you're thinking about going into ministry and you struggle in this area, don't go into ministry. And I mean that. Don't. You have to deal with it now. I'm talking to you personally, but I'm also kind of giving you a sense of when I talk to guys, I lead a group on Thursday nights, and I talk to guys throughout the week. This is something that is really hurting the church. Okay, I believe the church, one of the reasons the church in North America is so weak is because guys are trapped in shame and guilt and sin. And Jesus Christ came to free us from that, right? But it is a journey, and you're going to find out that these men, that you can become biochemically addicted to internet pornography. It is as addictive as cocaine. Lights up the same neural pathways in your brain, exactly the same. And so you literally have to come off. You have to come off of it. You have to go through withdrawal, and you have to learn new coping mechanisms to deal with strong emotions. I could go on and on. This is my passion. I can get on a pedestal and go. But I want to make sure that you understand that this is a really important part of understanding ministry, because I don't know whether you know this or not, the leading demographic that is using Cialis and Viagra are not older people. It's 18 to 29-year-olds, because this generation has been so pornified that they literally can't become excited by a real human being. That's where we're at. We're at a very dangerous place. And so I'm a fisherman, right? We go out and we fish for men, but I fish for hurting guys. That's my ministry. So if you need me, please talk to me about that. And then your discussion board, you're just going to talk about how it can be destructive. Your paper, you're going to integrate Romans 12:2, and particularly the idea of renewing your mind, right? With what you read about the brain, how can you renew your mind? And I have I've written some stuff on this, and I have some really strong feelings about this, because I think a lot of times it goes one or two ways, right? You either say to somebody, stop it. That doesn't work. And then you behavior modification, that doesn't work, right? Renewing your mind. And as you read the McClaney and Bush material, I think you're going to kind of put that together, and that's what I'm looking for. All right, 7.5 minutes. I'm sorry. I get really passionate about that area, and I get really excited. So it won't be this long every week, I promise. Okay, question of the week. It's my favorite question. If you've had me before, you've answered this question before. So just, if you want to just put the same thing down, or maybe something different. If I gave you had unlimited funds, and gave you a time machine, and you could see any artist ever, any band, solo artist, whatever, at any point in history, okay, who would it be? Front row, who would it be? Now, I'm also going to tell you, this doesn't have to be a moody answer, okay? It doesn't. I know I've had people say, I'd go watch David play the lyre on the hill, and oh my gosh. If that's true, I'm not making fun, I'm not mocking that, I'm not. But I'll go ahead and jump in. I would see The Doors, okay? I'm obsessed with Jim Morrison. I've read a lot about him. He was a fascinating guy. If he had not become a rock star, he might still be alive, and he'd be a poet in Paris. But I'd see The Doors at the Whiskey A Go Go in 1967. That's what I'd see. So that gives you permission to say something other than Amy Grant. So, all right. If you have any questions, prayer request, comments, anything, please call me or text me anytime. It doesn't mean I can always call you back right then, but I will call you back as soon as possible. All right. Onward and upwards.